Good afternoon, everyone. It's about 12:30, and as usual, I'm in the car. I had to sit with my father-in-law just a little bit longer today. My mother-in-law had a few errands to run, picking up prescriptions, things like that. I am not hungry. I haven't eaten yet. I did just throw 2 hard-boiled eggs and some bacon in my lunchbox, and of course I have my fat coffee. But I will tell you guys, I was up around, first off, I overslept today because I was up around 4 o'clock in the morning, and I think eating higher fat is finally starting to catch up with me, and my intestines were a moving. So I spent some time in the bathroom early this morning, and then it took me a while to fall back asleep. So then when it was time for me to get up, I struggled getting out of bed this morning. So hence the reason you also didn't get a video before now. So because of that, I'm just not super hungry, and I do plan on eating the hard-boiled eggs and bacon that I did throw in my lunchbox for today at some point. Mike and I haven't really decided what we're doing for dinner. It'll probably be something super quick and easy, like maybe some all-beef hot dogs, some scrambled eggs. Renee gave us a tip of taking hard-boiled eggs and kind of frying them in bacon grease. So I have some of those obviously in the fridge, so I thought about maybe trying that and making some hard-boiled eggs tonight. So we'll see how that goes. I am currently at BJ's getting ready to go into the store and shop for somebody. So I'm gonna head in and do that, and we will talk to you guys later. Hey guys, I am here at Meijer and I'm doing a shopping order for somebody, and the entire order is fruit. The reason I wanted to kind of mention this to you all is because, I talked about the candy order yesterday, which, was a ton of sugar, but at least the person who orders that knows what they're doing. The person who ordered this probably thinks that they are eating healthy, but they don't realize that they're eating just as much sugar. So I just find this very interesting, and it makes my heart hurt that we have been so misinformed that people think that this is what healthy food looks like. Okay guys, it's about 6:30 and I just got home. Mike is still out dashing, so I'm gonna go ahead and get dinner started. I don't know if we're gonna get to sit down and eat together tonight. It just depends on how long he's out. But I sliced up or quartered up 4 of the Teton all beef sausages, and I'm going to put those in the air fryer. I know when people make different hot dogs, and they quarter them up like this and put them in, they curl up almost like curly fries. But these being the sausages, I'm not sure if they'll do that, but we'll see. And then I'm also going to try something on my griddle here with some hard-boiled eggs, a tip that Renee gave me about grilling them. But I'm also going to try to put pork panko on them. So let's see how that works out. Okay, so I don't know if I'll be able to record as I do this, but I'm just going to show you guys. I cut up a couple hard-boiled eggs. I'm going to dip them in butter. Hopefully this will make the pork panko stick. I don't know. I took some pork panko and I put in some Italian seasoning, salt, pepper, and a little bit of Hungry Heath's Texas 5 spice. I'm going to put some bacon grease on my griddle and then put them on the griddle and try to fry them. I'll let you guys know how it turns out. So it's probably going to be a hot mess. We'll see. So this is what they look like as they're cooking. I don't know if I'm losing all the batter or if some of it is sticking to the eggs. So here is what we ended up with. The pork panko didn't completely stick to the eggs. It did a little bit, but then I just took what was kind of left on the skillet and just put it back on top of the eggs. And then there are our beef, sausage, hot dog things. I will have mine with a little bit of mustard, but Mike and I will let you know how everything is when we check in with you guys tonight.
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to rock and roll.
It's a little after 8. We're done eating dinner.
A little late.
Well, we finished a little while ago. I was done before.
Yeah, you were, but I wasn't.
Yeah. Mike got home a little later than we had hoped, but so tell me what you thought about dinner.
It was okay. Wasn't the greatest. Wasn't the worst.
Yeah.
It was different, and I like that because we're trying to keep it interesting and not have the same things every night, but it wasn't fantastic.
So here's the thing, guys. I dipped the eggs in butter and then in the pork panko, and it didn't even occur to me that once I put it on the grill, that butter was just gonna melt. Everything just kind of melted off. But After I put them on my plate and I put the extra pork panko back on top and just let it cool, I just kind of popped the whole thing in my mouth at once. And I think that it did give it like a different flavor. It made, because I had hard-boiled eggs for lunch, and so then having hard-boiled eggs for dinner, it made it a little bit different. It made them like crunchy and gave them a little different flavor with the bacon grease and the seasonings and stuff, but it was just okay.
Yeah. Now, my perspective on that is this. I'm not a fan of hard-boiled eggs.
Yeah, he doesn't eat them.
I don't eat them at all. And I ate 4 of them with the butter and the bacon grease.
It was 4 slices, but it was like 2 eggs because they were cut in half.
For me, it's 2 eggs. It's 4 eggs. But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I ate them. I liked them because they were warm instead of being cold. And I think that's one of the issues I have with hard-boiled eggs. I just don't like cold eggs. Yeah. They were okay. They didn't taste bad, but I wasn't like jumping up and down. They weren't great.
What'd you think of the sausage?
So I like the sausage. It was an interesting way to eat them and have it cooked. I put some seasoning on it, and some of the butter that was left, the melted butter that was on my plate from the eggs, I also used kind of as like a dip. They were good. It just wasn't great. It wasn't the best meal that we've had, but I mean, I like the variety, so I'm fine with it.
So there's that.
Yeah, I mean, you got to try it. You never know until you try it.
Now, Renee did suggest just frying the eggs in bacon grease, and that could give them like a crunchy outside maybe, so that's still something to try. I was just trying to think of a way to make them different. So super excited too, guys. I checked my mail today and I had ordered these silicone molds from Amazon. I got a little thing of hearts, stars, just some circles and some squares, and I know that I'm late to the party because I've seen some other videos now where people are making the brown butter bites, but Debbie Watson had suggested it and I hadn't heard of it, so I went and looked at Nisha's video. I ordered these silicone molds just for that purpose, so I'm excited to try those, and when we do, we'll let you know how they turn out. So those just came today, so I'm excited about that. What did you do for lunch today?
I took 1.5 hamburger that we had left, patties that we had cooked up. Took those. I took some seasoned salt, Redmond seasoned salt with that.
Smoked salt.
We had 3 open bags of pork rinds that were like almost gone. So I took all 3 of those bags because I figured if I needed a filler, I would eat one of the 3. And I took a baggie bacon. What I did was I ate the burger with the bacon, and then I ate the rest of the salt and pepper epic pork rinds. That was my lunch. Drank my water, took my electrolyte pill. That was good. I was comfortable with that. I wasn't hungry. I wasn't stuffed. Just trying to get rid of some of those leftovers.
And now I'm sitting here wondering, like, what are you going to do for lunch tomorrow?
Yeah, because there's no leftovers tonight. It might be 5 or 6 beef sticks and 2 bags of pork rinds.
There might still be some baggy bacon in there, I think.
If there is, I'll definitely take it.
I didn't think about that. I'm sorry. We do have to go to the grocery store tomorrow, guys. That is on our agenda because we are pretty much out of eggs. We have cooked up the last of the bacon yesterday making the steak bites, which were really good, by the way. We're just getting low on a few things, so we're gonna have to make a trip to the store. But this was day 11, right?
Today's the 11th, yes.
Yeah, so we're 11 days in and we haven't gone back to the store since we started, and I think we still have plenty of other meat and stuff in the freezer, so it'll just basically be like bacon and eggs.
Right.
We're still good on butter even, because we've been using the bacon grease. We've saved a lot on butter. So real quick, our book today, our chapter today.
Our book today, like we read a book a day.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be something? Today's subject.
Oh. We're in school now. I'm going to put my glasses on.
Well, today's subject is something that probably a lot of people don't have to think about or worry about. This doesn't really apply to everyone.
True, very true.
I mean, I feel that way. The lie, eating popcorn, which you shouldn't be doing anyway because of the carbs. Eating popcorn, nuts, and seeds will either cause diverticulitis or cause your diverticulitis to flare up.
Ah, nuts.
I guess I didn't even realize that this was a lie. Dr. Berry's point about this is that we shouldn't stop eating nuts and seeds because they're good for us, that they have a lot of nutritional value, and that they can actually do the opposite and help with diverticulitis flare-ups. I didn't really put a quote at the beginning of this because there wasn't really one that jumped out at me, so I didn't include a quote. On a personal note, my father has suffered with severe diverticulitis for years.
Mm-hmm.
And he has actually had 2 colostomies because of it. He's always been told that popcorn, nuts, seeds, strawberries, because of the little tiny seeds that are in those, that he should be avoiding those things. Dr. Berry is basically saying that that information is not correct, that there are studies out again now that say that seeds and nuts can actually help with flare-ups. The same study said that the reason that people get flare-ups is because of smoking, obesity, red meat,
which is interesting.
Right. An anti-inflammatory medication like ibuprofen and Aleve. Now, I will say that, he talks about all of this. He never addresses the fact that they say that red meat causes diverticulitis flare-ups. He doesn't really talk about that.
Yeah, I noticed that in that chapter I don't want to say conveniently, but he mentioned that as one of the 4 major factors, and then he never says it again.
Right. So if this study shows that those other things cause it, then why does red meat not cause it? Kind of things. So I just question that. It also says that it's common in people who eat a Western diet and are older than 40. And also, just real quick, in case you're not familiar with what diverticulitis is it's these little pouches or pockets that form in your intestines. They say if a nut or a small seed or something gets in there and gets stuck, that it gets inflamed, and then that is what causes you the severe pain. Now, my father has had to have 2 sections of his intestines cut out because of the severe diverticulitis. He had to be rushed by ambulance to the hospital because it got that excruciating. I will tell you, my dad was over 40. My dad is a smoker. My dad is overweight. I'm assuming he eats a lot of red meat, but he also eats a lot of carbs and sugar, so I don't know. And as far as medications, I can't tell you if he, does take.
But I mean, he's pretty much falls right into that category.
Yeah. From what I understand, a lot of people actually have diverticulitis, but very few will actually have issues from it.
Right.
Dr. Berry is just basically telling you that if you do suffer from this,
it's not necessarily caused by the nuts and the seeds.
The nuts and the seeds.
And that you should continue to eat them, but the other items that we mentioned, you should look, just each person look at your own situation.
Right.
If you're a smoker, I mean, clearly smoking's not good for you, so that's, a given, but I would have never guessed that would be linked to diverticulitis, to be honest with you. If you're taking a lot of ibuprofen, you might want to think about cutting back on that if you can. And I think it's funny about that too, because we talk about all the inflammation, right, that caused by all the oils and things like that. And if you cut those items out, that inflammation goes away.
Right.
And then you have no need for the ibuprofen. So you see how that cycle comes around.
Well, and I wonder if those seed oils could be causing inflammation and be contributing to
the diverticulitis.
I don't know. What this all boils down to, guys, I don't really know, because there's only really one study that's cited here. It was a large study, but only one study. And what it boils down to is if this is something that you suffer with, maybe do some trial and error type things. Try some things.
Talk to your doctor,
Talk to your doctor, but just figure out, if you've cut out nuts and seeds just because you have diverticulitis, it may not be doing what you think it's doing.
Yeah, it may not be the solution. You may end up still suffering from diverticulitis.
Right. So, again, I just don't think that this is a chapter that appeals to the masses, I guess. So.
No, but I think just from the nut and seed point, I mean, they are healthy, and we've talked about that before.
In the proper serving sizes.
Right. I mean, everything's like that. You don't want to sit down and eat.
I have a problem with nuts because, again, if you guys have watched any of my past videos, I love peanut butter and I love nuts, and I can sit down and eat way too many of them, especially like cashews. I love cashews, and I can overindulge in them if I'm not careful.
I as well. But yeah, if you eat them in a reasonable manner and you follow the serving suggestions, great health benefits, as long as they're not
made with a bad oil, or they have like peanut butter, they'll put vegetable oil and
right. You
got
to eat clean, but yeah, they definitely can.
But I mean, we've even found regular almonds at the store. They're salted almonds, but they have canola oil.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You have to look. They got to be clean. They have to be just the nut and salt. That's it.
Right. I think that's it for tonight. It's going to be kind of a short video.
That's okay.
We are both tired. If you can't tell by looking at us, I told you earlier that I overslept this morning because I was up late last night, and Mike has gone late.
I've gone late to bed.
Mike has gone to bed late the last 2 nights and hasn't gotten a lot of sleep.
Yeah.
So
my son so graciously pointed that out to us this evening, that Dad looks tired.
He stopped over there today after work, and my son texted me and he's like, Dad looks really tired. And I'm like, I know, he does. He's been working hard. He's a hard worker. So we will see you guys tomorrow, day 12.
We're getting to the halfway point. This is kind of
I know,
getting exciting. Can't you tell?
Yeah, we got to figure out what Mike's going to eat for lunch tomorrow. Talk to you guys later.
Good night.